Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. It's the numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. I realize you're seeing someone new, but I don't believe he loves you like I do, yeah. Memories of all in mine, memories will always be with me. I realize you're seeing someone new, but I don't believe he loves you like I do, yeah. Not a mercy, not a mercy. What up, family? How y'all doing? It's your brother King Simon in the building. How y'all feeling? Thank you. Happy Friday to ya. Happy Friday to ya. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. They say, thank God it's Friday. Happy Friday. What up, Carrie Ann Ingram? My co-host is in the building. What up, girl? Holly Hemmett. I don't know if it's any relation to Bobby Hemmett, but you might be related. You know, he's from the Carolinas. You know what I'm saying? His family's from Georgia, Carolina. Oh, man. Interesting week so far. I want to say happy born day to KT, the Arch Degree. Big up to KT, the Arch Degree. KT, the Arch Degree. Happy birthday to our brother, young god of health, due to his connection of his mom. His original dad is the late, great Greg Tate, the poet laureate of Harlem. And he transitioned on November 5th, so it was like 2 days after KT's birthday. But also his connection to his stepdad, Dr. Sabi, Ma'a, and all the great ones. Of course, his brothers, Red Pill and Blue Pill, his sister also. I don't know his sister, but big up to KT. Happy birthday, brother KT. I hope all is well. I'm gonna share this with brother KT right now, so he know that people are thinking about him. Everybody, make sure y'all hit up KT the Arch Degree on his Instagram and show him love. I just got my honey. I got my stingless bee honey from KT. Man, woo! Between KT's products and Dr. Shakira Moore's eye products and Dr. Africa's eye products, of course. Yeah, my eyes, I used to wear glasses seriously in the 80s. And then when I got on the diet of Dr. Sebi, Dr. Africa, and Queen of Fu, and learning after I left the Ansarullah community, that's when I started heavily getting into the diets and all that. And I actually reversed the effects of my eyes due to not eating the same things that my Caribbean parents taught us, because although your parents meant well, and respect to all those parents that were health conscious, because even Dr. Sebi used to speak about his parents, his family giving him beans and, and all that kind of stuff, and rice and all that kind of stuff. And Dr. Sebi was actually like 300 pounds, about 200 to 300 pounds. He used to talk about that. Dr. Africa talked about his parents and his grandparents coming from that southern, part of the world, South Carolina, North Carolina, and those places, what they used to eat. And then he talked about why they used to put cloves on the honey dipped ham, or the ham, because the cloves would poison. Come to find out, after he did a study, he found out that the honey on the ham attracts the worms, and the cloves that was on the ham will kill the worms. Yo, Dr. Africa was a god when it came to really studying that. And so you never know why people do things in our older generation, but ham, honey glaze, cloves on top, and the cloves and the herb of the clove kills the worms. Brilliant. Brilliant. I have cloves in my cabinet all the time. So if I eat fish, I will actually sprinkle the cloves while I'm baking the fish. I'll actually sprinkle the cloves over the fish, and mix it with cayenne and all kinds of stuff, and or I'll put agave over my fish, put the cloves on it and all that. Because, fish got its worms too. Let's be real. Fish has its worms too. But that's what Dr. Africa spoke about. And one thing, y'all got to go check out a lot of, between Dr. Africa and Dr. Sebi's tapes. Those are good, informative, because Dr. Africa was more transitional because he was a former nurse. And Dr. Sebi was straight to the point because he was a direct herbalist and, of course, steam engineer and all that kind of stuff. But he was direct to the point, and Dr. Africa he was direct to his point, but he knew people, after being in nursing, that people would not just conform immediately. So there's a difference between the two styles of teaching and the two styles of consultations. When it comes to Dr. Africa and Dr. Sebi, and both of them served their greatest purpose. Both of them served a great purpose on this planet. So enough respect to their souls. And I know I veered off into that because of mentioning KT's birthday. And KT, I put KT on a panel with Dr. Africa before. I think at the Melanin conference that I did and I don't have that tape. Don't ask me. The guy that videotaped it, he charged me one price, and then he went up to another price, and then now he don't have it. So, if I was that dude, I would have, did certain things, but I just got no time for it. That particular Melanin conference with Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, Dr. Africa, Dr. Melanie, KT, the Arch Degree, and I believe Ray Hagans. Dr. Ray Hagans was also on the Melanin Conference also, but it was Kaba Kamene, Dr. Africa, Melanie Stevenson, Dr. Africa's wife, and KT, the Arch Degree. That was the Melanin Conference that I produced at National Black Theater. The National Black Theater is no longer there, but they're rebuilding that area into a condominium complex, but they're building the theater in the below part of that area on 125th and 5th Avenue. So those that are in Manhattan knows. Now, let's get into the subject matter from an old Roman historian. I left the book upstairs because I read before I go to bed, and I read as soon as I come up, I write. But, and this quote was very, very important because the quote from 86 BC, from that time, this Roman historian named, I think, Sallust. His name was Sallust. He said, harmony makes small things grow, and the lack of harmony makes great things decay. And I said, okay. I said, that's interesting. He said, harmony makes small things grow, and the lack of harmony makes great things decay. So I said, from my perspective, that is very, very interesting, because when, let's say from a human perspective, when relationships are in harmony, things manifest on a higher vibratory level. And everybody can attest to that, especially in the first parts of your relationship when you just get to know that person, and you and her thinking the same way, and y'all finish each other's sentence, and y'all are feeding each other, or y'all giving each other massages, and y'all are taking each other out, and y'all are doing things where it's balanced, because harmony reflects balance. Harmony reflects balance. It's not an imbalance. It's not an imbalance. So harmony reflects balance. So for this historian, Sallust, the historian of Rome, to say harmony makes small things grow, and the lack of harmony makes great things decay, you can, by constantly being harmonious in your relationship, like the yin and the yang, not being opposites to each other, men and women are supposed to be harmonious with each other. So any lack of harmony, there's something that has infiltrated the harmonious aspect of a relationship to make what was a great relationship diminish to a decaying relationship. And that is across the board, because even when children are harmoniously playing, it's a beautiful sight. I remember being in the park and taking my children to the park, and then children don't even know each other, but because they're the same height, they're defined. One child might say, "Can I play with you?" Or they say, "Let's play together," and they become very harmonious in their playing. So harmony makes small things grow, like younger people. When you see, that's why it's good to study your children or your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren, or study children in the park and the way they play. I don't know if they're playing as much as they used to play in the park back in the day, but because I go to this park over here in this area of Stone Mountain, I don't see no children in there. I go over there and play by myself and work out and train and all that stuff. So this park, a certain part of Gwinnett that I'm in Stone Mountain, I barely see anybody in the park, but even on the weekends, which is interesting because everybody is on their board. So they've become harmonious with the keyboards or the games that they're playing on television. You know what I'm saying? So the topic is harmony makes small things grow, And the lack of harmony makes great things decay. So it's very important that in everything that you do, family, my brothers, my sisters out there, I don't care what color or creed you are, bring harmony, because the body itself is a harmonious thing in its pure nature. Let me say it again. The human body is a harmonious thing in its purest nature. The heart is doing what it does. The skin is doing what it does. The lungs is doing what it does. The eyes are doing what it does. The mouth is doing what it does. The breathing apparatus, the respiratory system, everything is doing what it does. So there's harmony in what we call the smallest baby-like body as it's growing. And that harmony allows it to grow. Think about it. The harmony, as a child come up and everything starts to develop, because of its body being in harmony in the beginning stages of its life. That's why harmony makes small things grow. It makes humans grow when the body is in harmony. Eating the food to help induce growth and all that kind of stuff, whatever's happening. You know, KT can explain that even on a better, deeper level. But the body has to be in harmony for it to grow. The assimilation, the dissemination, and the elimination process in the body has to be in harmony, because assimilation, dissemination, and elimination is all working in harmony. So harmony makes small things grow. And the lack of harmony makes great things decay. So we might grow to a big older person and decide to eat all kinds of stuff, smoke, drink, and all that. Now, the lack of harmony, because you're not in the most harmonious natural state of your body, you start to decay the body internally, and then it becomes an external recognizing thing. So harmony is very important. Now, you know your brother needs to go to the board with the word harmony now. You know your brother needs to go to the board with the word harmony, because that is the focus. You know your brother needs to go to the word, go to the board. And I love the board. Yeah, I know I love the board. King Simon needs to teach. King Simon needs to teach. So when I go to the board and write the word harmony, because every word has a mathematical vibration to it. Can I get a 1 in the chat? Can I get a 1 in the chat? Every word has a mathematical vibration to it. Now, in the Pythagorean system and the Chaldean system, we're going to go down that road. We're going to go down that road, family. Talk that fast. Pick up to my man, Panic. All right. In the Pythagorean system, it's a number 8. In the Chaldean system, it's a number 5. In the 1, 9, 2, 4, 6, 5, 7, and 1. And I implore everyone to study both systems. And when you do any type of chart, always do. I memorized it so well, and now it's just a part of me. So as soon as H come in, I know 8 and 5. And when I see A, because of both the system in both systems of Chaldean and Pythagorean, it's a number 1. And when I see the number 9, I see that the number 9 shares the 9 and the 2. The M is consistent. The 0, the O is 6 and 7. When I see the N, that's consistent. When I see number Y, that's when 7 and 1 comes into play. So I start to look at it with duality all the time. I look at these numbers with duality all the time, because that's important to me, so I can better serve the community when I'm breaking down these numbers. Comprende? I hope everybody comprehends what I'm saying. Okay? So in the Pythagorean system, the word harmony adds up to a number 4, which that is one of the even numbers of balance, structure, discipline, organization. So the word already harmony, which is the longer word of harmony, is harmonious. In order for you to be in harmony, you have to have some type of evenness, some type of balance, some type of structure. That is the 40 or the 4 energy. And because it adds up to 40, that adds up to that extremity. That 0 in numerology deals with divine protection when you are in harmony. 0 always add protection and add extremities to it. So if it adds up to the number 40, that means it's not only divine evenness, divine balance, divine structure, divine organization, but it's also divine discipline. So in order for things to maintain harmony, it has to be discipline. You have to be in divine aligned discipline because the 0 is connected to that. Woo, now stop playing. Talk that sass, Nicole. Talk that sass. Now, in the older system of numerology, Chaldean, y'all can take a picture of that. Those are the 2 systems I got on my board over here, my whiteboard. In the older system of numerology, the word harmony, when you add it all together, and you're going to notice something. You're going to notice a difference. You're going to notice a difference. You're going to notice a difference. It adds up to 25, which equals a 7. You're going to notice a difference. Boom. Boom. So in the older system of numerology, the word harmony adds up to 25. And when you get to that compound number 25, the 2 represents companionship. It represents compassion. It represents intuition. And the 5 represents adaptability, flexibility, communication. So in order for you to stay in harmony, you have to be compassionate. You have to be intuitive together. You have to be, also versatile and adaptable with your harmony, because harmony has to flow in unison like the yin and the yang. That's why yin and yang are harmonious. They're not opposition to each other. European taught that opposition attracts, but it's complements that attract. So big up to Baruti. But 25 adds up to a number 7. 7 is the deeper research, the deeper study, the deeper insight, and it's the law of attraction number. So in order for you to practice harmony, it has to be a law of attraction with that person, a law of the word that I said, complement. Also, it's also the deeper research, deeper spiritual connection. So in order for you to be in harmony, you have to have a spiritual connection with each other also. A foundation, building structure, balance connection, and a spiritual connection. Man, you can look up that. Look, you can look up that. You can look that up. Don't worry. The Chaldean and the Pythagorean charts are all online. It's online. You can Google that up. Go research. Go ahead. It's all right. I'm doing some things. I don't like people throwing me off. So, but me as a numerovator, this is what's so very important. If I'm seeing 40, which is a 4, and if I'm seeing 25, which is a 7, what would a numerovator do since I am a holistic numerovator? Let me see. And this is what a holistic numerovation will do. I would add the 40 plus the 25 and see what I get out of that, so I can see what's the connective dimension between the two. So when you add 40 plus 25, that equals 65. Or if you added the 4 plus the 7, that goes directly to the number 11. So again, when I put the connective energy of Pythagorean to the Chaldean, which I do in a lot of my sessions, I get a number 11, which deals with deeper. And so the word harmony, when you connect the two, deals with inner insight. It deals with the master number 11, which is that vortex and that gateway. And so in order for you to be in harmony in anything that you do, you have to go through that gateway and understand the unseen and the seen world. And because 40 plus 25 equals 65, it has to have balance. It has to have versatility, and communication is the key before it gets to that spiritual number 11. Batman! I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. So, harmony makes small things grow. Mathematically, if you're in harmony, it would make small. It makes a lot of sense to me. So when you're off harmony and you're acting like, if you go on a negative of the number 4, then guess what? The 4 becomes hard-headed. The 4 becomes mentally disturbed. The 4, if you go negative of the number 25, then the 7 is also hard-headed. The 7s, people born or connected to the number 7 can be mentally disturbed or worrying too much. So you do not harmonize, and that unharmonization brings about decay of any relationship. Any relationship can be decayed. Any relationship that you've built up to be great, whether it's friendship, business, otherwise, it can decay if you don't maintain the harmony, the discipline, the balance, and maintain the flexibility and the compassion and the spirituality behind it. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. Or prosperous, righteous teachers. We gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class.